Hi all, this is my Suzuki 4-stroke 6 horsepower 4-stroke Suzuki engine, 2006 model, and I've noticed, I think, that the impeller might be on its way out. I'll fire it up and then you can see for yourselves. I think it needs a change, so I'm going to do an impeller change and film it all and pop it on YouTube for everybody else to see. 2 seconds. It's not pumping like I think it should, and I've seen a couple of vids, and yeah, a bit of choke. It's not bad, but it's not bad at all, really. I don't know when it was last done, so it's like the cam belt on a car. I don't want to take any chances, so I've got the impeller kit. It runs lovely. It's on a 9-foot dory, I believe it is. Ideal just for a bit of fishing when we go down the coast. Okay, you're going to need a 12mm spanner, 2 nuts underneath the housing, 1 and 2, and also, whoops, I don't know if you can see this, if you can just, you've got a prise, and you need some good strong fingers for this, because that is that little nut, if you can see it in there. That's a gear linkage, so we've got to undo that first. So a good posi or a good flathead, as long as it doesn't slip. That's no good. No. Tell you what. 10mm. No, I'm not too sure whether to undo the whole the way or not. Okay. I've done them before, but not on this particular model. No. I've undone the gear linkage a certain amount, not too much. I'm just gonna grab a torch, have a quick look. Okay. Well, if it moves, I'm going to lose it down there, so I'm going to leave it partially done for now. It looks like it comes off. Don't know. It's a bit weird. Okay. Well, at least it looks like you can see where it's worn, so you know where it goes back on. So. I know when you take this off, that here there'll be 2 pipes, or 1 major pipe, which will be the water feed. So we'll see when we get in. Turn the prop. Okay, all I've done is, when you undo, where are we? just undo it slightly, but you can. Mine dropped off, I just put it back on again. Okay, and then when the arm, everything drops off, this is your gear change, this is your drive shaft, and inside here, just underneath here, there's a little rod which will then, if I can see that, which will then locate into this. This is your pump, so it's just here, so it's just inside here. You can hear me whittling it. So when it's all back, to make sure the drive shaft goes back in, but I'll do this when I put it back together again. So these all got to line up. Okay, so let's have a look at the state of the pump. If I can get you in focus. Alright, so these are 10mm now, okay. See what condition it's in. Right, when I bought this, it didn't say when it had been changed, so I'll make a note of this. So if I ever decide to sell the engine or whatever, at least the new owner will know when the pump was changed. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, all I've lifted is the housing off, and looks like the propeller's in there. Oh, and the Woodruff key's just popped out. This, you get a spare one of these when it comes with it. Okay, and these, if you can look, just sit in there, which then holds the housing in place. So it spins. It's like a lock. It locks it into place. I just want to look underneath here. It's pretty clean. Yep. But I got the new kit, so let's have a look. It's not that bad. It's a bit sloppy. You can. These are a bit. They're not broke or anything. So, but when you get this far, it's just clean inside there. So you can see it's not a massive job. It's whether you put it back together properly. But if you can look at these, they're not bad. They're a little bit weak. A little bit weak. Let's see what the new one looks like, shall we? A little bit better. Does it need changing? It's not worth taking a risk, is it? So I'll be changing it anyway. It's not bad, but you can't actually, there's not much wear on it, so it's not bad. So. Oh well, at least I know it's safe. Okay, I'll grease up and put it back together. So I don't know why. So we've got a new plate, but I've got the gasket by the look of it. That's a bit weird. That's the old plate with the gasket on. This is a new gasket, but it looks like it runs the whole length. Okay, I'll change that as well then. Okay. I'll clean all this off and I'll get back to you. Okay. So RTV or gasket glue, whatever you want to call it, around on the bottom gasket. Now I'm going to put the RTV onto the top of the casing, and then put the new gasket on top of that, then put some more RTV on top of that, only a little smidgen, and then I'll refit the impeller case, then I'll put the impeller with the woodruff key back in again then. So I'll gasket up first and come back to you again. Okay, let's have a look, show you what I can show you. Right. So, you can see in the middle is a guide shaft, and if I can zoom in, I might be able to. At the top of the engine, hold on. I'm trying to get this right. So right at the very top, there's a hole. Okay, so this is it's a guide pin. That's your water pump. That there is your gear change, and right in the middle is a guide, and you've got to get the shaft right up inside. And then if you can see that hole up there, right up in the centre, through this guide, right up to the top. So that's what I'm going to do. So catch you in a minute. Okay, I'm going to show you step by step. I have not inserted the shaft into the gearbox yet. What I have done is I've had to line up the gear linkage here. So you have to undo that nut. Where are we? You have to undo that nut slightly. Okay, and then you've got to line up the top with that there, and that is bloody awkward. But anyway, I'll carry on. Okay, once the gear linkage is lined up here, I'll be honest with you, I've just put this in now within 2 seconds of me putting the camera down, with the guide up here. This guide, which is inside here, line me perfectly up with the gearbox. Well, this is the gearbox, with the shaft drive up inside the engine. So it's just sort of straight in, and sort of the water pump and the pipe just lined up perfectly. That's it. I'm going to put a couple of screws back in and give it a test. So what I'll do now, you can see where this was originally lined up. So I'm going to, and there's a little tiny circlip just at the bottom. So I'll bring this back down like I have, turn it round, tighten it up, tighten the two bolts up, back in the tank, and we'll give it a go. Catch you in a bit. Okay, all back tight. Now I'll put a bit of grease around this, give it a clean, just clean all this debris off. I've tightened it back up, a good hand tight. Okay, don't go mad, you don't need a ratchet, just a hand tight will do. Although if you, like I said, if you damage it, you're gonna be pretty racked off. Okay, so next thing I'll do is put it back in the bucket on the back of the boat, and we'll give it a test to make sure she engages gears and everything. Okay. Okay, RTV the top. What I've done to make it easier, I put RTV, or gasket glue, on top of the gasket. Make it a lot easier. The gasket will only go on one way round. You'll see that when you come to it, because there's a locating pin. Oh, there's a locating pin just on the inside. You'll see that. Okay, push him down nice and firm. Next, just cleaning up the housing, and then I'll put the impeller on, making sure it's clean. Okay, brand new base plate. What's going on? Okay, nice and firm. Brand new impeller. Also make sure, if you can see that, there you go, the squares, the little pieces are missing where the woodruff key, it fits over the top of the woodruff key. So he goes on next. Okay. Slide him down the shaft. You might want to see where he lines up first, so you get him somewhere near the key. That's it. Okay. Next, the casing. Okay. Next, the locking housing. Just slides in, okay? Let's just show that again. Okay. It slides in like that. That's all you have to do. Put the knot back in for that. Put your 4 washers back on. What I tend to do with this, when I'm tightening the housing back down again, I do them opposites. So I sort of get them finger tight or whatever, so just gentle. And then I'll go around in sequence to make sure the housing is bolted down properly, well, and not skew whiff. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. So take 10 mil, just tighten that one down a little bit, just a little bit on top. So just a little bit of pressure opposite. You'll feel the pressure yourself. Okay. A little bit of pressure. Okay, start again this one. A bit more pressure. A bit more pressure. A bit more pressure. Okay, just calculate it, but don't go mad, because if you shear them, you're not going to be very happy. Okay, because that probably you have to take it in then. So yeah. I'll go one more. I know I'm feeling for now. Done. 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 And the final one, just Same with this one, not too much, but enough. And that's it. Ready to reassemble. Looks like we broke a bit of a gasket at the front there. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, brilliant. Okay, now we're going to disassemble the impeller housing. First of all, what I'll do is the shaft, which is the drive shaft going up, is covered in carbon. I'm going to take that off with some wire wool, and I'll show you what I've done in a second. I can't hold the camera and do that at the same time, because I want to get the impeller out and put the new one in without scoring it. And then I'll show you as well. I'm going to put some new gasket on here and then some new gasket glue as well. Okay, back to you in a sec. Okay, just for convenience, undone the 4 housing nuts, pop them somewhere nice and clean. 4 washers, nice and clean. I've also undone this. There's a locking. This is another bolt which is holding a locking plate in for the gear change, and also just up here a little bit. If I can show you that. Just up there you'll see a discoloration, shiny. That's where, when you bolt on your gear change linkage back together again, get it spot on there, otherwise you won't engage gears. I made that mistake. So I'm going to slide off the lock, put that somewhere safe as well, and then the housing should just ease off gently. And underneath here, see, that's why I've cleaned the shaft. Okay, actually very good condition. Okay, next the impeller. That should come off. Just, that's the whole housing come off. Hold on. The only tools really needed for this was a 12mm spanner and a 10mm spanner. I'm just gently going to ease the impeller off. I don't want to, that's it, just gently, okay? And then that slides off. Take him off. Put him to one side. And then you've got a woodruff key. That holds the impeller. And the half moon shape is what goes into the drive shaft. Okay. Can't go wrong. Where is it? There it is. Could not see that bit because it's behind, but here you go. Hello. Okay, so sorry I missed a bit. I had a bit of an interruption. Base plate comes off, gasket comes off. We'll replace all them. I'm just going to dry the shaft, clean it, and I'm going to put a little bit of gasket glue on. I don't know, I just decided to put a bit of gasket glue on. Okay, and then I'll put it back together and you can see me reassembling it. Okay, catch you in a bit. Okay, I've done some a little bit further now. What I've done, I've lifted up the gear housing cover just slightly, left everything in place, just slide it up. And what I'm going to do, I've just cleaned it, and I'm going to slide with a little bit of Super RTV silicone. Okay, just around, just to make sure that it's sealed beautifully away from the actual water, so we don't want any. So I'm only going to put a little bit on your finger. That's it. And just work my way around the outside and make sure it's in. So it's just, I know then I've got a definite bond and she's watertight. Okay, just all the way around. Bit of OCD. It's not OCD at all. Just making sure that, the thing is, I like to look after my engines, and hopefully they'll look after you. Okay, right, I'll work this in so it looks nice and tidy, and I'll get back to you again when I'm ready to put it back together. Okay, all working fine. One slight mistake was in here. I had to undo the nut again and alter the gear change. It was in gear when I started it. That's a piece of cake. You can see where the old one was, or you can tip exit. Okay, thanks for watching.